Using Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 to simulate a FedEx corporate jet landing for a meeting for 14 passengers in Charlotte. As you can see now, we are deboarding the passengers. While we're waiting for the passengers to deboard, go ahead and take off a little cargo that was to be delivered here in Charlotte. Okay, the forward and aft stairs are positioning themselves at the forward left-hand door and the rear left-hand door to disembark the passengers, crew, and pilot. Comes a van to take our passengers to their meeting they have scheduled here in Charlotte. Doors have been opened and our passengers are exiting the plane. As I stated, there are 14 passengers. They're going to board this bus van and it's going to take over to a conference room not too far from where we're at for them to have a short meeting before they come back and reboard the plane. Passengers exiting from both the forward and aft stairs. show the passengers off to their meeting. Now we're going to leave the plane basically in a cold and dark state with ground power available. This van is going to take the crew and pilots over to an area where they can have a little rest and relaxation and eat a little lunch. And here comes the crew off the plane.
Pilots deboarding starting.
And here comes our pilot and co-pilot. You can see that this must be an important FedEx cargo plane, as both our first officer and our pilot are both full captains. And off they go for a little R&R and food. Okay, the meeting's almost over. The passengers will be returning shortly, so the pilots need to get back on board. The crew needs to get back on board and set up the plane for departure. Okay, this is a FedEx plane, so of course we have cargo. So we're going to load some cargo to take on to Atlanta. Some that will go en route back to FedEx's home base. All of what we're seeing here up until we get to the pushback phase would be called eye candy. And it's eye candy in the fact that to actually fly the plane from point A to point B, to stay in the cockpit and assume that all this is happening and not be outside looking at it. But this is what gives you what they call full immersion. Okay, it's time to do a little refueling. Notice the stairs were gone, and in the proper sequencing of things, we'd probably left the stairs attached to the front and back, but like I said, this is my first time running this GSX program, and so I did a couple things out of sequence. First time running the program, I didn't realize that I had to be inside the plane and actually be entering the amount of fuel that I desired, and so that's why the counter on the fueling panel is not moving. I have to go back into the plane and enter the amount of fuel that I want loaded. So I went back in the plane, entered the fuel's been transferred, he's disconnecting. Lowering itself down, and the fuel truck will be on its way back to its staging area. Well, it's a short flight to Atlanta and then back to FedEx's home base, but we need to have a little food in case the 14 passengers need to eat something en route. And so we have the catering trucks pull up fore and aft to the forward right door and the rear right door. Raise the truck to be level with the door. Move forward against the door. Forward right door, forward rear door open. And we will push a meal and drink container into the aircraft. Once we get that one in properly positioned, we'll push the empty or used food and drink container back out of the plane and into the catering truck. Okay, that's all the catering that we need to have done for these 14 passengers and the crew and pilots. So we'll shut the forward and aft right side doors. Pull the ramp away. Lower the catering truck into position and drive the catering trucks away. While all this was ongoing, we have gotten the 14 passengers back on board, and it's time to shut the forward and aft left side doors and move the stairs back away from the plane. There goes one of the cargo handling tugs back to its staging area. As I said, everything up to now has been eye candy. The one part you actually will use on every flight is the push. You will use the pushback routine to push the aircraft away from the gate and get it properly lined up with the taxiways to taxi.
Refueling truck is on its way.
I did mess up the
Please don't load aircraft
pushback
until the fuel
phase.
truck arrives
As I
and
said,
adds
first time I
fuel.
ran the program, and so I didn't get to see everything associated with the pushback event. Okay, plane's ready to go to pushback and taxi out to the runway and head to Atlanta.
Hello, Captain. We're ready for pushback.
Okay, they use a pushback tug to connect to the front wheels of the aircraft and push the aircraft back in that
Partner
manner.
check completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Okay, here's the pushback tug. The individual is going to come up
Locking
and
gear.
attach the pushback tug. What happens is I selected the wrong direction for pushback. I don't know how I did. I thought I did it right, but if I left this pushback video go on, we'd actually end up running into one of the stairs back into our ride.
Release parking brakes.
Have to go back into the cockpit so that I can act as pilot and release the parking brake.
brakes. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
And normally during the pushback we'd be starting both engines, number 2 then number 1, and at the end of this video, well, never mind, it's going to end right now, so that's it.